I'm going to share a little bit with you about Qigong and a little bit of that practice. Qi is loosely translated to energy and Gong is work. So it's working with your body's own energy through your meridians where it's stored to try to get to your optimal health. And the great thing about Qigong is that you can do it on your own. You don't need somebody else, like an acupuncturist, to help you out with it. So I'm going to give you a couple of great tools that you can use, and it doesn't need to be a 30-minute all-together practice. You can just take little pieces here and there that resonate with you and use them throughout your day and as needed. So I'm going to move my chair so I can stand. Best way to do this is to not have shoes or socks on. That way all the good acupressure points that are in the bottom of your foot can be in contact with the floor. And so I'm going to back up so you can see all of me.
Ashley, is it better for people to stand up or should they stay seated?
I think it's better to stand up. If you cannot stand up, it's okay. You can do the arm movements and follow along without the legs, but it's best to stand up if you're able to. If not, it's totally okay. It's your practice. Okay, so I think this is the best way so that everybody can see most of me on the screen. So you're going to, with all Qigong movements, you're going to have your legs hip width apart. You can have your toes pointing forward. If they move a little bit off to the sides, that's okay. Don't pressure yourself. And the way I always start is just with a little stretch. So I interlace my fingers and put them in front of me. And then I put them above my head and stretch up. And it feels really good if you want to put a lot of your body weight on, let's say, your right foot, and then move towards your right side. And just stretch to the side a bit. And then you can come back to the center, put your body weight on your left side, and stretch to the left. And that feels really good. Another one that I really like to do that's a little bit of stretching is using your shoulder to massage your neck. I think this is a place where a lot of people get a lot of tension. You don't want to tense up your shoulder too much and actively use those muscles as not to cause any sort of pain. So if it starts to get really uncomfortable, stop, as with anything else. But you just use it to massage your neck a little bit. It's a more fluid motion than having your neck go all the way around in a circle. It doesn't interrupt the qi as much, which is great. Another one that I think is really good is called tapping Qigong, and I use this a lot when I'm feeling very fatigued. So there actually are studies that look at chronic fatigue and tapping Qigong, and they've been pretty successful to help people combat low energy. And so the best way to do it is to follow the natural flow of the meridians or energy in your body. So generally you start with making little fists. It's kind of like a little Tarzan move. You can hit your chest. These are all really good acupuncture points, all down here in your sternum. And then more outward to your shoulders. This point over here is lung 1. This is an amazing point for things like grief, depression, sadness. All these points in the middle are wonderful spirit points for trauma. So you do that for a little bit. Now when it feels comfortable, don't get caught up in the amount of times you do any of this. It's not important and actually will detract from your practice. So whenever it feels comfortable for you to stop. And then the way you're going to start down is a little bit of slapping motion. Do it as hard as feels comfortable. You don't have to do it excessively hard. But you're going to go down the inside of your arm, so palm facing up. You're going to follow all these great lung, heart, PC meridians, and then when you go back up, you're going to go back on the outside of your arm. So you're going to slap up, and then make sure you get that upper back because it just feels really nice. So down, inside of your arm, following that natural motion of the energy, and then up and into your back. And you just do that a few times. It really increases circulation as well. So like we talked about earlier, if you want to take that pulse ox, maybe you have Raynaud's, maybe you do a little bit of this first. So it goes up, and then you're going to go over to the other side. Make sure you're always balancing out on the other side. So all the way down the arm and then up the outside of your arm, which is going to be your large intestine and your triple energizer meridians, small intestine. So outside. Then once you feel comfortable with that, you're going to start in the bottom half of your body. And the way I always start is by doing little fists with my hands and starting on my lower back. This is a great place if you sit a lot, especially. So you just make little knocks on your lower back, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then once you're done with that piece, which I just do a couple of times myself, I slap on the outside of my legs. And if it feels better for me that day, I'll knock with my fists. So all the way down, and then you go on the inside, up. So outside down. And then inside up. This on the outside is going to wake up those bladder, gallbladder, stomach meridians. On the inside, the spleen, liver, kidney. Once you've done that a couple of times, like all Qigong practice, you should take a moment to sit with your body and see how it feels. Not with the intention of change, but the intention of being and noticing. Some people may feel some tingling sensation. You may feel nothing. No judgment. Just notice how your body feels different, if it feels different. It's just giving you information. Do you feel more awake? Do you feel more tired? Is there a little nausea there? That's all normal. So after you sit with that, if you wanted to not go through the entire tapping of your body and you wanted to just focus on your lower back or your kidney area, because maybe you have lower back problems or maybe you're just looking for a big boost of energy, you can do what's called knocking on the gates of life. So you make little fists with your hands and you're going to swing back and forth, hitting your lower back. So it should be a fluid motion. Maybe you've seen people doing Qigong in parks like this. This is a really common one I think that you see a lot. It's also very simple. But you're just going in a circular motion. And it doesn't, again, have to be particularly hard. You don't have to be hitting really hard. Just whatever feels comfortable. But this is a much faster one if you don't want to take the time to do all of the tapping. And you just want to focus on that lower back or your kidney bladder. Okay, so another one I was going to show you guys today was a water Qigong. So water is really significant right now because it's the winter season and the water is the element associated with the winter season. So having a deficient water energy may mean that you have low energy or you have weakened bones or your immune system is weakened. Those can be some signs of having deficient water energy that this would be good for. Excessive water energy could look more like anxiety. And it doesn't mean that these aren't good for you. These may help a little bit with some stagnation that could be built up. Maybe you have the energy, but it's getting stuck. And this would help with that as well. But those are some things to look out for that help you know that maybe there is a little bit of an issue or disharmony within that water element. And so with most Qigong, depending on who is the person who instructs it, you're going to be in this Wuji posture. And so that looks like sitting on a bar stool, so it should feel like your bottom is down a little bit, almost like there's this imaginary stool right here. And you don't want to be too far back because then you'll be unbalanced and you won't be able to perform the arm movements and the exercise. So your knees should be a little bit bent. Again, your legs hip width apart. imaginary bar stool that you're sitting on. And usually your arms are out in front of you with your palms facing your palms. And the water one starts with moving your arms up towards your face, which your knees will go up. And then when you go back down into that Wuji posture, your knees will bend. And so it's a forward motion, which is very water-like. Water as an element just moves through everything. If there is a rock in its way, it doesn't move it, it goes around it. Which is the same with what you're trying to portray. You're moving your energy forward. So you should go up towards your face. And it should be sort of a circular motion. Once you feel comfortable with the motion, you can add in the breathing. So as you're going up, you would breathe in. And then exhale as you go down. And it doesn't have to be in time with my breathing, it should be in time with your breathing. And like I said, I particularly do 7 or 8 times, but it doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in the numbers. Your body will tell you when it's done and wants to move on to the next thing. And sometimes, honestly, this Wuji posture can be a very uncomfortable one to be in. So when you're ready, you can stay in that Wuji posture and feel it out. See how your body feels. And there is a little discomfort. It's a little, your legs should feel a little uncomfortable in this posture. But you're really trying to harness the energy of the Dantian, which is a main energy center in Chinese medicine or philosophy. So you're going to sit with that, see how it feels. If you want to sit with it by unbending your knees, because maybe you've had some knee difficulties in the past, that's okay too. Make sure you're breathing. The next one I wanted to show you was compressing the pearl. So this one's also done in the same Wuji posture with your knees bent, sitting on a bar stool, arms in front of you, palms facing palms. This one, your elbows are going to be a little bent, and it's almost going to be, you should have your arms in front of you. It's almost like you're going to be creating a little energy ball. So your arms are going to go up, your knees go up, your arms go down, your knees go down. You're harnessing your little ball of energy. You're bringing it all in, right to that Dantian, right to that center of where all the energy comes from. The sea of qi. Right near your belly button, a little bit below that. And then when you feel comfortable, you're going to match it with your breathing. So you would breathe in to go out, and exhale to go back in. And then I like to sit with it after. And again, you can sit in that Wuji posture. If that's uncomfortable for you, you can stand. Close your eyes. See how that feels in your body. Notice any changes, if any exist. Just be with it. And then, as always, with all of Qigong, there should be a closing out. You don't want any of the energy to sit up here in the upper part of your body. You want to move it down. So the closing out, which is a great thing to utilize just at any point in your day, if you're about to do a presentation or a stressful meeting, or you have a doctor's appointment that you're worried about, this can be a great exercise to do just to ground yourself before those events. So the way that you would do that is you would have your palms forward. Again, you would be in that Wuji posture if you can. You would have your palms forward, your arms out by your side, moving your hands up to your face. Turn your palms in towards each other, almost like you're pushing it down. Once you get to about your breastbone or your bottom of your chest, you're going to turn your arms in and you're going to push down. So again, your legs would be straight for this part. Hands towards your face. Pushing down. Once you get to here, your arms change. You push all the way down. So you take a deep breath in. And then exhale, push to the ground. Mother Earth can take it all. This is a great one to do if in the beginning of your Qigong practice, you're feeling a lot of nausea, or you just don't feel good initially. It may just be that there's a lot of stagnation, and that's okay. You just move it down. So once you feel like you've sufficiently moved the energy down to the lower part of your body where you want it to be in this lower dantian, the last thing that can be great to do is called shaking Qigong, and this is just a fun thing to do. You can also do this after you've been in a highly energetic environment, or you feel like there's a lot of contaminated energy. Basically, you're going to shake off almost like you have something sticky on your body, so it's going to be really dramatic. You want to shake it off almost like there's something sticky. And then once you get okay with your arms, you want to add your legs into it. Just get it all off. And that's the end of your practice. So you can feel how your body feels after doing all of that and sit with it for a moment. And then you can feel free to use all of these at any time, out of order, doesn't matter. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your mindfulness experience today.